podcast. In the zone 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 podcast.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the In the Zone podcast. It is your boy, B. Foster. Brian Foster's in the building. Happy Wednesday. I hope your week is going well. I hope you survived our little Chicago snow. We back in the 50s now, so it's all good. What's happening, Sean?
Hey, was that really a snow? I mean, it lasted like 12 hours.
Man, well, you know.
Saddest little snowstorm ever.
Friday, we was out there in peak toes. It was snowing. So
I wasn't here. I was in the South.
Oh, that's right.
I just came back to snow.
Well.
So,
And now it's gone.
Yeah, it's like it never even came.
Like we'll talk about later in the program. So, so if you have not, I'm sure you're tuning in for a reason. Tonight we're going to talk about two very interesting topics. One is dating fatigue. Y'all seem super tired of each other in these dating streets. We're going to try to figure out why. But before we go there, we're going to have a conversation about what most daters hope they fall in love, right? And get married. And then Lee has some unfulfilling whack sex. And we're going to talk about why that happens to a lot of couples in these times.
I know what my first question is in this segment, but I'll wait for us to kick it off.
Let's kick it off. What we're waiting on, we have Spence somewhere. Hopefully he's all right. We haven't seen him yet. Hopefully he jumps on, but wait, we might not need him at all because we got one of your faves in the building. Our girl, Mia. What's up, girl?
Hey, what's going on?
Ain't nothing. How you doing?
I'm hot.
You are hot.
Yes, bring her in.
Bring her on it. Yes, because I'm talking to her.
I'm going to say, he's talking to himself.
So funny. How y'all doing?
We good. How you doing?
First of all, what made you all think of me for this segment?
That's Brian Foster.
Well, you always have such awesome, informative, emotionally secure.
Butter me up.
Come on.
What you know about this?
Great advice. You always give that amazing advice and are obviously well versed.
Well, thank you.
So we want to make sure you are. And then we just hope Spence would take his shirt off again.
Really, just be naked on the show. Time.
Hold on, pause. Not me.
No, definitely me.
But
definitely.
Rob, let me see some comments, brother.
Funny.
So anyway, we're not even gonna argue with me and Sean fighting and blah 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 blah. We're just gonna kick this right off into the conversation. So you said you already know the first question.
So y'all both been married, right?
I have been and am.
And twice. So you gonna really know the answer to this question. You ready? How long into the marriage does it take for sex to be unfulfilling? Because you can't tell me that y'all jumped the broom and the night y'all, that y'all jumped the broom, the sex is automatically unfulfilling. Like what? Like
Well,
how long does this normally
first,
take?
let's not assume that everybody's sex life that is married is unfulfilling.
That's true.
We're talking about the unfulfilled.
I'm just making sure we state that.
No, you're definitely fulfilled.
Up front.
Definitely fulfilled.
I'm not. What are you talking about me personally? I'm saying everybody.
Metaphorical beat.
I'm just saying in general, we're not gonna put this out there that a married sex is unfulfilling. It can be, that possibility.
Married sex can be unfulfilling.
Because I'm sure your marriage is completely fulfilling, but you have to have other friends who are unfulfilling. How long did it take for them to start complaining about that?
You gonna bring that off me? Huh? I like how you did that. There's no. I don't think there's any. Mila back me up. I don't think there's like 5 years, 6 months, and 2 kids in. That's what it. I think it's all dependent on the relationship, the communication, the effort. Like all these things play a part in it to make sure that doesn't happen. If it does happen, it's less about how long it takes and how many of those factors played into it.
Now, okay, let's get into these factors.
I want to get Billy. You agree with that?
I do agree. I do feel like some people, even before they get married, know that sex is not satisfying. So I feel like the first thing is like, what's your definition of like fulfilling sex in a romantic relationship? Start there.
That's great. Let's start there.
I'm asking you, like, what's your definition of fulfilling?
I've never been married.
No. We didn't say married sex. We said sex.
What is your definition of fulfilling sex? What does that even mean?
So, this is such a loaded question.
You have an orgasm every time?
No, actually, that's not required for me to be fulfilled.
Okay.
In order for me to be fulfilled, one, I have to have an emotional connection with you, right?
Okay.
And it requires. So I'm one of those people that requires all the goofy phone calls and all the sexy text messages, like not all the time, but that needs to be an aspect of it. And if you're doing that and we're emotionally connected, that's why I'm not fucking you.
That's a lot of work.
Wow. If all of that is in play, then 9 times out of 10 it's gonna be.
So there's like you feel connected.
Yeah,
to
I need to
person.
feel very connected.
Okay, I mean, but sex can be fulfilling, and there's like no
orgasm. It happens all the time for me, where I feel fulfilled and I get an orgasm.
So
I don't want to say I never come. That's what I'm here for, because Brian ain't gonna tell shit, so somebody gotta do it. Somebody gotta be the interesting one. Yeah. So
I've said a word. I'm the non-interested one. Go ahead. You go ahead.
But yeah, so orgasms are they're not part of me being fulfilled. All the other stuff makes me very fulfilled.
That's fair. I feel like, people get married and you either had really great sex before and it changes, or you didn't have really good sex and you still love that person and you're hoping that you can work at it to be a little bit more sexually compatible, whatever that means. But I do feel like in marriage, you have to make a decision. Like if you're going to stay committed to trying to keep that close connection so you can have like mind-blowing sex, or you can spend your time like just belaboring what's wrong and blaming it on the other person and not putting forth the effort to have like a really juicy, intimate, fulfilling sex life with your husband or wife.
No, I completely agree. Or you can pick not so fun option C, where you just give up and just focus on the other aspects of the marriage that work.
I mean, that sucks. I feel like that's the part where granted, yes, I was married for 10 years. This is somebody that I dated in high school, right? So known this person since 16 years old. So we had been intimate before we started our family. So this is somebody I had a decade of history with. And I can remember like making a decision, like I want to have a really healthy, equitable sex life. And some of that took, I had to take responsibility for that. Like, how am I contributing to this marital sex being whack? Maybe requiring too many phone calls before it is that I bust it open.
Well, I said sexy phone calls.
Yeah, even those, like I had to like acknowledge, like, how have I set up like all these like roadblocks for me not to have what it is that I want?
I take a bullet. I just need to feel.
No, it's not you.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, you're not.
No, I think ultimately what I'm saying is and I'm okay with needing stuff. I think ultimately what I'm saying with the phone calls and text messages, I need to feel desired and wanted. That aspect, those things help me feel fulfilled sexually.
That's fine.
That's fair.
Let me ask this. So we're talking about being fulfilled and marriage and all that good stuff. And we're assuming this means a monogamous relationship. Mm-hmm. But is monogamy designed for emotional stability, but bad for sexual excitement?
Wait, huh? is designed.
Is monogamy designed for emotional stability, right? It emotionally makes you feel good. I got my husband, I got my wife, whatever. But is it bad for sexual excitement?
No, I don't think so. Because when we were on good terms, oh man, it was show stopping, right?
Okay.
Like,
Come on now.
I think the fun part about having been married and when it was really good, when both of us made a decision to treat each other well, to treat each other with respect, to take care of each other, right?
Yeah.
Unrelated to like us being in the bedroom, but saying thank you, being complimentary, doing things without being asked. Like when it flowed, there was much more. It was easier to be in a place of curiosity, of experimentation, of openness. And that's what I loved about being married, like being able to explore who it is that I am in this marriage on purpose and with purpose. It wasn't just because I was like ready to get my back blown out. It was, okay, I chose this man to be my husband. How much of me can I give to him? What version of it, what version of a woman or a wife am I to get there? And so I don't believe it's, you don't have to create a dichotomy between it. I think it could be either or. But when you do have monogamy that is agreed upon and it's healthy and you both want it and you both acknowledge that it helps both of you positively, it can create the perfect conditions for you all to do things that you've never even imagined doing in a bedroom before.
This petri dish is not realistic, and I have no idea what she's talking about right now.
She basically said everybody.
Oh, I know what she said.
I mean, if I was to truncate what she said, is everybody has to agree to want to have a good sex life. That's
sure.
what she's basically saying.
Sure.
False. Let me say the question to you, because you're the only man here, and I'm not married, so I can't answer this question. Is monogamy designed for emotional stability, but bad for sexual excitement?
Yes.
Oh wow!
I need you to expound.
So listen. It's great for, again, like I said before, that's my man, that's my woman. Like we together, we married, we took these vows, we got these rings, yada yada yada. All these public declarations. I changed my status on Facebook. All these public declarations of love, right? That's all emotionally stable. You know I'm coming home. You know, but we legally bound. Boom, right. But to this point, if you're not taking the necessary steps, if you're not being intentional, if you're trying to get past going to school, having kids, working, all these other barriers to enjoyment of life, period, much less sex, right?
Yeah.
All that comes with that emotional stability of what that marriage brings. But it very rarely are two people on the same timeline all the time when it comes to anything, much less their sex life. So for there to be that intersection of we all both trying and we're both in this together for this and we got to figure this out. That sounds great. And I'm sure it happens. Long-term relationships kill spontaneity and chemistry sometimes.
What does it? Chemistry,
It
guys.
does.
Damn.
You know what I'll say? Habits and patterns will absolutely do that. Like you get stuck in this is what we do, when we do it, how we do it, because this is the path of least resistance.
Right.
This is what gets the bills paid. This is what keeps the kids from crying. This is what keeps our, organizations that we're affiliated with satisfied. But we often forget, like, our first job is to take care of each other. And intimacy and sex and romance are a part of that. I've seen a lot of couples, and I've kind of pledged to my own self, like my next marriage, I want a person who understands, like, having a healthy sex life can help you live longer and actually help you be, healthier. I want that as the foundation of closeness. I don't want to lay next to somebody every single night knowing that I could, sleep better after, sex, and my heart rate come down and my cholesterol come down, and you deny me, for 12 days in a row. Like, I don't want that. I want somebody that agrees.
Wait, does sex have with your cholesterol?
Well,
just say yes.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
It's aerobics, man.
Yeah. It's, the
I needed
it
specifically stated. Thank you.
I am not a medical doctor. Like, this is, but no, there are studies that show, like, touching and hugs reduces the time of recovery from surgery or out of the hospital. Like we know even hearing the person's voice that you love can lower your, stress levels. Like that's real. And for me, I'm like, all right, well, if I can have sex until I'm 85, 90 years old with the person I choose to be with, I want to be healthy enough, of sound mind, flexible enough to actually do that, because sex is amazing. Why wouldn't you want to do it all the time and protect yourself from not being able to do it all the time?
But how do we, to B's point, right? Again, I'm not married, so I just want to be clear. But, a lot of married couples do talk about how the routine and the kids and the bills do start taking hits to their intimacy. How do you safeguard your relationship from your intimacy taking a hit?
So the women that I've worked with, I teach this class called Bedroom Manifesto, and I teach another one called Sex Flex. Sex Flex is specifically for women who swear that they want a better sex life. So one of the things that I do is like, all right, well, pull out your calendars. Let's look at what it is that you've chosen to do with yourself. People have jam-packed their schedules with giving themselves to everybody but their partner. There's not even enough time to actually rest and get your body together to offer yourself to your partner. And so one thing I believe needs to happen is that each individual, and I'm a woman, so I have to speak as a woman, is when you are in a relationship and you want to be more intimate, then your lifestyle reflects it. It's everything from using that commute to, from home, if you're on the metro, instead of scrolling, maybe you put yourself in a position, let the day go and think about your partner. Right? If your partner's at home, how is it that you want to show up in the room? Do you want to show up with all of the baggage of the day that you know is going to be there the next day? Or are you going to use that 60 minutes to kind of decompress and prepare yourself to be the best partner that you could be? Now, that doesn't mean that your other half is not at home stressing out about bills or whatever. It's more about how it is that you show up. So I do realize as women, as wives and mothers, and, we're the leaders of all these organizations and we have businesses and employees, we've chosen to prioritize what we think is important. But it is also important, if you want a healthy sex life with your partner, with your husband, that your lifestyle reflect that. That's everything from making sure you go to the doctor, making sure that you're having sex when you want to have sex, right? Like not putting yourself in a position to feel like, oh, I'm not in the mood, so he has to make me be in the mood. That can even start to play around with your mind in terms of like the sex that you deserve. Because we absolutely deserve amazing orgasms. We deserve to be touched on, to be loved. But does our lifestyle reflect that?
I would also add, right, and I've heard men say this, like, women having sex with them even though they don't want to. I also think that
Spence is here.
Hey, Spence.
Does he have on a robe?
He absolutely does. Hey, Ron, can we bring Spence in?
Good people, good evening, good people. I figured if we're talking about sex, we should get into the sexy gear, should we not?
You know what? Unzip my jacket a little bit more.
Yes.
Wait, I can't. Well, the mic is covering me, so I can't. This man has on a bow tie and a silk robe with a pipe
and a fire lit behind him.
They don't need us. We should just leave.
Get you a Spence.
We should just leave.
It's just put Mila and Spence next to each other on screen and let them talk.
Like, what are?
Oh my God, I love it.
All right, so goddamn you, Spence. I love this man. So we were having a conversation. Sean was about to ask, I believe, a follow-up question of what Mila was just saying.
No, I was just adding on to what she was saying about. I think also what kills it is having sex with someone, not just women, but someone you're not really interested in having sex.
Yes.
Nobody enjoys having sex with somebody who is not into it, or they feel resistance. That can be a mood killer, and not just a mood killer, but a dig to your ego. Absolutely.
Well, I want to ask Spencer's another married man's opinion on this. The other thing that comes up when I think about this is men have to be aware of, to your point, how they're contributing to not only the mental stability and financial stability of the crib, but they have to figure out, right, like, how am I helping?
Yeah.
Right. So if she's coming home from work and you come home from work and both of you all are stressed, and now she's cooking, now she's doing homework, Now she's cleaning up the kitchen, watering the plants, whatever the fuck else. You didn't walk the dog and sat down and start watching Sports Center.
That's his contribution.
And maybe you scraped your plate when you were done, when dinner was over. You didn't help clean up, you didn't help cook, you didn't help the kids with the home. I'm saying, if she has all these other burdens and barriers and things that go on, and then at 10:30 when the game is over, you like, nah, my G, that's not gonna work out well for you.
That, as well as how you groom yourself, take care of yourself, and make yourself preventable, and turn me on, whether you smell good, you fade up for me. Like, we're also creatures that like some eye candy. So what you wear at home matters. How you smell at home matters, right? Like, yeah, take Spence for example.
Let's Spence talk about it, brother.
Who wants Spence with the bow tie, no shirt, and the silk robe?
No bow tie, that's the beard. But I think she's absolutely right. Brothers, if you want the ladies to come with the Victoria's Secret,
let's bring Spence in full.
And the niceness, you can't hand them the Target 3-pack of Champion underwear. Give them something that they want to peel off you as well. This is one of my bedroom ensembles. It's a smoking jacket with a matching pajama set. And to your point, Mike G, what's up? Thanks for the salute, brother. To your point, B, the problem with that scenario is that the dude who comes home, does the things, watch the game, his seduction package starts at 10:30, and that's where he fucked up.
Come on, seduction package.
His seduction should have started maybe the night before, at the latest that morning. On his way out the door. Hey, girl, after this game, I'm trying to eat all the pussy, right? So don't be sleepy after the game, because I'm trying to get this.
Oh, it's a really nice word.
So you have to set the tone way before you're ready for your impact zone. And she's absolutely right. You got to groom that. You got to smell great. You got to give her something that she's looking forward to. If all you're doing is climbing on top of her and handling your business, then no, she's gonna turn you down every time. But if you act like a servant lover dedicated to her pleasure, that's gonna be pretty hard to turn down, y'all.
So Spence, I'm gonna say that we won't turn you down though, right? Like, women will absolutely accept that and be completely dissatisfied, and you'll never know. A lot of men don't even ask. Like, people, like, men will ask you like yes or no questions. Like, was it good?
Absolutely.
It's not open-ended. They're not asking like what is it that I can do different to turn you on, or how satisfied are you with lovemaking? Like,
what do you enjoy that I don't do enough of?
Right. Not saying use those words, but if you've only made assumptions based on pleasure moans, you're probably wrong.
Yeah.
100%. I think it's a male's responsibility. I have a book that I recommend for all lovers of humans with vagina. I love the book Vagina by Naomi Wolf. If you like to please women, humans that have this, you absolutely need this book. It goes into depths, fellas, and lovers of women, about the woman's mind cooch connection. Okay. If you get in touch with that, you're going to be riding just like a ceaseless wall of orgasmic and mutual sexual pleasure. If you fuck that up, it's going to be next to impossible to get in rhythm with what your woman wants and how she wants it. Just how she said.
I feel like I want a hug right now. It's just like, thank you, Spence.
Spence, boy. Let me ask you this. Why the ladies over here like fanning themselves and shit? They can't even form words right now. So let me take back over.
You gonna bring the Bible over?
Jesus Christ. Let me turn the water down a little bit. They both like,
the man's right. The man is right.
So let me ask you this, Spence. Sometimes I've read and I've heard that outside relationships or affairs can reignite a relationship faster than even counseling and some of these other beautiful things we've talked about. And any have you done any research, heard anything about this?
Anecdotal experience that happened with me in my marriage. I had, before we were consensually non-monogamous, I had a non-consensually monogamous relationship with a lover. There was some dead time in the bedroom in our marriage. That was my fault. Fault is so relative. It was me. I was the one that wasn't, sexually there. And yes, once I had another lover and we started doing things, it did erupt a sexual dam that had been blocked up that my wife enjoyed. And in fact, when she talked about it, she could actually pinpoint. She was like, y'all started around, didn't y'all? I said, yeah, how'd you know? She said, because our sex picked up. So yes, so speaking for me, yes, I have experienced another lover ushering in a sexuality into my primary relationship that was missing. That was my experience.
So I can agree with that. I never stepped outside of my marriage,
Okay.
but what I did do, because there's levels, right?
Absolutely.
If you're not ready for like a physical relationship and bringing someone else in for whatever reason, then there's always just fantasizing out loud.
Absolutely.
And so I found and so it wasn't about what we wanted to do. I had no problem hearing stories about him with other women or things that he had done, and then also things that I had previously done. So recalling or telling the stories of people that I had been with or moments that were really, so I found that even recalling a memory with in a space where I wasn't going to be judged, I wasn't going to be accused of like, oh, you want to do something more, like having a partner that understands that there are ways to kind of move your attention, bring more spice into your marriage that doesn't include someone physically being present. It's even like voyeurism and allowing people to watch, or even just talking about allowing people to watch. You never have to go forward with it. So it can be because it's exciting. You're seeing the daredevil part of your partner and that turns you on, right? The bad boy, the bad girl that you met, now you're like a mom and you don't play around with that anymore. So I believe it can bring up different versions of us that we were more attracted to, because those habits, like it isn't so attractive you sitting, at the PTA and running for LSC. That's really kind of boring. Like that doesn't turn me on, but bringing these other elements could possibly bring the spark that you wanted.
Yeah.
You also could pay for it too.
Pay 100%. For it?
When you go to Vegas, like again, it's a spectrum. People pay for it.
And I agree 100%. And all alternate engagements don't have to be physical. I started dating a woman who was in prison, and I was telling Jen Lee about this. So she was finishing up her last 2 years. There was nothing sexual. It was all letters. And every once in a while we could do a video date or something like that. But that was a definite side attraction. That was not my primary relationship. And it got deep to the point where I could not actually have sex when she got out, because I saw the clinginess and the adhesion coming. So that I just decided to keep it from being physical. But outside of that, we had a pretty decent relationship.
I love those ones where it doesn't even have to get physical, where it's just conversation and connection. Yeah. Like again, relationships are a spectrum. Not everything turns into physical intimacy.
Right.
Fair.
Oh, is it my turn now?
Are you awake? Are you cooled off enough?
I'm sorry, sitting there in the silk robe. I memorized. And with the lit fire.
Yeah, I know. All right.
I got a wife, so I'm gonna be cool.
It's been 20 minutes. Can you get back?
How do cultural narratives about good spouses shape what's considered acceptable sexual behavior in marriage? And would people be happier if they were just more honest about their true desires, Mila?
Honest with who? First of all, I would say probably honest with yourself.
Good point.
Honest with your partner, but it's scary. It's scary, like letting even me saying pay for it. And Mike G is like, pay. Yeah, people pay for sex all the time. There are states where it's legal to pay for sex. Like we do it in lots of different ways. So I only shared that because there are options if you are the type of couple that want to explore switching, swapping, finding people, no ties, whatever, whatever floats your boat. But even in a relationship, you don't know that you're interested in something until something happens inside of you, or you see something, you hear something. Before the world was all TikTok and, OnlyFans, what did we have? We had toy parties that happened.
Oh, dear
and
God.
you just kind of like found out about them.
Dear
and you would walk in and it's just like dildos vibrating everywhere, moving from hand to
cherry
very,
stuff to
very
lick off
odd.
people. Jesus.
You thought it was like a Tupperware party. And then you're like, oh, there's dicks out. Like, so a bunch of stuff. And it's like,
I do remember those.
Completely impersonal. And then there were the classes, right? And there's Angel, like give fellatio classes and things like that. So you get into a relationship and you might want to be, you know, exploratory, but your partner has said something weird, you know, like whether they bring up, you know, what makes you a hoe, a whore, how they see women that do a certain sexual act. And now all of a sudden, the thing that you kind of like desiring the most,
Yeah.
you feel
Now
like
you
you have to
feel-
protect. But it goes over into every part of your life. Like if you can't share what's on your mind or your deepest desires, imagine the other things that you're afraid to voice and you don't even really know it. So I do think that it's important to understand how you've held back. And then also what's at risk, right? Like,
Yeah.
are you worried that your partner will see you different? Are they going to treat you different? Does that make you now look at your partner like someone that, like, damn, I didn't know he was this conservative? That's a lot to deal with, you know, like it's a lot of women that want to be choked. Women really want to be dominated. Some women, I'll say that. And it's a lot of brothers that are like, no, you know, if you want me to choke you, something must have happened to you. Or if you want me to hit you, you know, something bad. And so they, you know, even taking something as simple as sharing like, hey, I wanted a little bit rougher can turn into you being chastised or like, oh, you need therapy. Like something must have happened to you for you to want that. And you're like, okay, well, maybe I don't share what's on my mind and what I desire.
Some moms, God bless them with the best of intentions, mothered the I'll choke the shit out you out of a lot of guys.
Oh,
because we have been, I know for one, I was brought up to honor the woman's consent, to honor the woman's comfortability, you know, as a brother coming up in the 80s and 90s, you bet not send no woman home with no anything around her neck. You know, it wasn't what we were programmed to do. So it's hard for now. I actually had to go to classes. I took a dom class so I could learn how to talk my shit. But I'm just a lifelong learner when it comes to the sexual and the sensual arts. But for a lot of brothers, it's really hard for us to break into that because there's a part of us that sees it as being disrespectful, and there's just some men who just will not disrespect women sexually. They just don't have it in them.
Yeah. Not to mention a lot of brothers are immediately thinking, "Is this safe for me?"
Yep.
Correct. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what's gonna happen if I do this?
Yep. It's a lot of women that and when you play around, when you play games with your sex, you end up putting a man in a position where he's just going to give you what is safe for you to get. You know, so if you're the type of person that wants to be manhandled, but you also bucking at him like hit me, and you're one of those women, I guarantee you he's not going to choke you out like even you want to, because you're kind of twisting it around and using it against him. So I've seen a lot of women miss out on really good sex because they will weaponize violence or threaten to expose a man's more violent whatever, when that's what it is that you actually want and wish for. And then also it's not easy for women, you know, like I had to kind of reconcile after, you know, unfulfilling sex for me, going back to that first question, was being completely ignoring me, like completely ignoring. Right. So you touch my body, but you don't talk to me. You know, my husband didn't have any photo of my face on his phone. My screenshot was the bottom half of my body. Right. And so I learned that for him, I was just doing my job. It wasn't about pleasing me. It wasn't even about asking me what I wanted. And I realized like, this is what I married. So I just kind of like gave up. Right. So I'm just like, all right, how still can I be to turn this man off? I couldn't be still enough. I could be asleep and he's still going to have a good time. You know, so I realize that many people are in relationships where they want fulfilling sex, but they have a partner that they're not in a good place with. You can't go to a class, read a book. You can't pray it. You can't play it away. You can't have a threesome enough, you know, for the person that's causing you harm or someone that feels violated by you.
Amelia, here's the answer. That everything you said is golden. Got no contest. But another personal experience, I had a lover who confided in me. We did a open, just tell me your wildest session. And even though she had been sexually assaulted, she had a rape fantasy. And she told me she wanted me to be that partner.
Yeah.
And that was so challenging for me. We actually had to go to her therapist and my therapist, and we had to get like a sex coach and just do all the things. But that was kind of turning her off because she was like, no, I just want you to just do it. And I was like, we got a lot of stuff, in my opinion, that we need to check off as far as safety for me, for we to do that. But we were able to pull it off, and she's a couple of times. She had a great experience with it. I kind of played the different variations of it, and we had our safe word. I had the safe word written in her lipstick on the mirror just to make sure everything was clear, and she never used it. But again, that there was a element of me that had to get out of my comfort zone. I had to be safe enough with her to get out of that comfort zone to do that kind of sexual irregularity. And it was fun, but it was hard to get there.
I'm actually a little surprised that she wouldn't have wanted to figure out, right, having been assaulted, what her bounds were, right? Instead of just jumping into it, because anything you could have did unintentionally could have triggered that memory for her. So I'm a little surprised she wouldn't have wanted to. I mean, I get it. Like there's something there's something unsexy about that, right? But still, even for her own peace of mind, being able to know where the boundaries were makes sense to me.
Sex is weird.
People are weird.
People are people. People are people.
People. Sex.
No doubt. Because people have sex. Let me ask you all that. And I hate that.
People have sex too, man.
You know what I'm saying? I hate to. We got to switch to the next topic soon. So I do want to. And I love when you two are. I swear. We got to do them more often. How can couples reignite curiosity about each other after years of predictability?
Ooh, I'll let you kick it off, Spence.
Continuing sexual education. You have to continue to grow as a person, just in your own thing, not necessarily sexually, but you have to continue to learn sex. But here's the go-to. I say get 16 go-to moves. 16. You can break 4 out every season and you won't see them again for another year. There's that. Then I just think in my opinion, the longer you're together, the more comfortable you should be able to feel just coming with a little bit of your weird or a little bit of your, kink or your uncomfortable zones. I would say take classes and workshops together, take them separately, and just explore all the elements of relationship. It may be time for you all to talk about bringing somebody else in, again, just to watch, not necessarily to have sex with or engage with. Going to a sex party together and only engaging with each other and having sex in front of people, that's a whole new element that some people would really have a lot of fun trying. So there are just multiple roads to mutual sexual satisfaction and enjoyment. And I encourage couples to pick one, try it. If you get 5 miles down the road, you don't like it, pick another road.
There it is.
So I'm going to echo someone said, like, communicate. I think that's so important. And active listening, like listen for what's meant by what's being said. Be open to the flirt that is coming your way. Sometimes we can be very specific, like it has to sound like this, it has to come at this time, and it has to be delivered in this way, right?
Charlie.
I'm sorry, I'm pointing at you.
Goddamn hater!
You said it earlier.
That's right. You said it. You said I need it during the day. I need 20 phone calls. You said
You need it at 18, 10:45. Yes.
But if you're the type of person, you're saying like you want this life, then you have to be open to it in all of its forms.
Yeah.
Because what somebody's giving and how they're giving it might be, it's coming from them uniquely. You can't say, oh, you used to even. Like these men, okay, ladies, these brothers, they over 40, they knees bad, they backs hurt. They got gout. Not all of them. For men that are have bodies that are stressed every single day because of what it is they do to pay the bills, they're not the same brother. They're not the same man. So we have to understand how to make love to and turn on. No, I got the look. Not everybody is in disrepair. I was joking. I'm sorry, fellas. But men's bodies change as well. And we have to be cognizant of that and still find what attracts us.
Yeah. And
still allow them to be the flirtatious and spontaneity. Both of y'all said that. Yeah, both of them.
I don't know.
To get the spontaneity or be spontaneous.
Underpin that. She's so right. You can't fucking pain, fellas. If you have any kind of chronic pain that's been bothering you, a knee, an elbow, something you think has nothing to do with sex, you cannot fuck if you're having chronic pain, because your body's going to take that energy and put you on healing mode. So you got to get yourself checked out. You got to go get to a physical therapist, whatever it is to make you feel better. You're not going to be able to get the sex that you want and maintain it if you're having some kind of nagging pain somewhere.
Yeah, and ladies, we got to take care of our brothers, like paying attention and being of service. It's not just one way. I will always champion that. So doing for him and making sure that he's in a space to make love to you, and also that you're ready. It's not always about them turning us on and doing the thing. He's there. He's not just he's there, but you know what? He's present in your life. And so maybe we have to give a little bit more grace at times to have sex lives that we really, really want as we age and grow closer in our marriages.
Love that.
No doubt. No doubt. All right, y'all. Well, I appreciate this part of the conversation. You all bring it as always. As always, the numbers always rise when you two are on. From your sexy backgrounds to your intelligent words.
Big words.
No, we appreciate you all. We appreciate you all. Until next time.
Oh, man,
hey, Ron, let's bring up that video.
Path to coldness in love is well known. We start off full of affection for one another, and then, with time, feelings fade. We start prioritizing work. We check our phones while they're speaking. We don't especially
develop what I call dating fatigue. So you go through a situation with a man, even though there may have been something telling you early on from the jump, he's not it. You try to convince yourself reasons to give this a chance. Maybe you didn't want to be alone. Maybe you were enjoying his company. Maybe you just wanted to believe this could finally work. And so now we don't have the energy. You don't have the energy for the next situation coming along. That bad experience causes you to view dating and relationships in a negative light. But the reality is that no, it was just that situation. And we have to take that personal accountability when we allow things to go on longer than they should. Not to beat yourself up, but to learn from it so that you don't keep repeating that cycle. A lot of women develop what I call
It's not just women, sir.
I never said it was just women.
No, I'm talking about that dude in the like
oh,
women. I'm like,
well, he was speaking
I'm
specifically to women. But anyway, hey, what's up, y'all? We are back. Interesting video. And we got two people that are here that have been on before, have lots to say about this. And
that's what I thought.
Wait, you have been on before?
Hey, come on with the
that's right. You were
version.
here before, but you haven't been in the studio before. That's right.
So
we popping cherries today.
Hey.
Come on now.
We need like a bow.
We need something. All right, so hold on. Rewind. We got a familiar face on my right. My boy Jamil. What's happening, baby?
Hey, what's going on? She stole my thunder.
I'm here for the first time. And then we got my girl Latanya on the left side.
Hello.
Come on. All right, so
She's definitely been in the comments, though. She's not new to the.
She threw me off because she's been in the building before, but not in the studio. Hit me up with those comments, Ron, so I can see them. Hey, so here's the thing. We're in a lot of groups together. We're in chats. We're on Instagram, yada yada yada, and we see every day a lot of people got complaints about this in the dating pool and this, that, and the other. But what I'm gathering from some of this conversation is men and women, we had a whole conversation about this last week about the brothers, are just tired of the rat race and the game of even trying to source a proper date, much less have repeated ones with the same person. So I can't speak to this. So I brought in some folks that could.
A lot of you are married. I'll just say that. That's part of the fatigue.
Wow.
That's a different show. That's a different show. That's a different show. So I'm gonna let the folks that's in this world dating have at it. What's that first question, Sean?
And we're gonna start with our ITC version. When did dating start to feel like work instead of something fun and exciting?
After the 50th date in a short amount of time, and realizing that most folks that are out in the dating world, they're not doing with intention. And being clear with what their intention is. So to me, listen, whatever your intention is, it is what it is, right? And the goal is to find somebody that matches the same intention. And when you can't be transparent with that, that's where the fatigue comes in, because it's just the same thing every date. It's, getting to know that person or trying to, and then understanding, how you all may be a match or not a match. And it's just a lot. It's just a lot of, I'm almost to the point where I just want to have like a QR code and just have them scan it. You know what I mean?
Do a questionnaire. Like, nigga, what's your intent?
No. Like, give them a QR code. It's got everything with me on it. Got some questions. Fill it out. Submit it, and then I get back.
You can do a Google form.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because it's like just like rinse and repeat, right?
Yep.
And then it's the whole thing of like, and being able to get to the second date is like crazy. Like it's crazy out here. It's
I'm
crazy.
tired for you, honey. I'm tired.
And you have to take a break. Like I literally take breaks. I'm like, I just can't do it anymore. For my mental health, I have to take a break from it.
No, I think that's totally fair.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that a little later.
Jamil.
Where did this just become a chore as opposed to the fun we used to have?
Man, I think it like time frame.
Just
sure. Like, was there a certain? Was it like?
Was there a breaking point or
5 years ago? Was it a certain relationship? Like,
man, I think in general,
was it Facebook?
That could be it, but I think in general, maybe it's a generational change. But I think it became a point where dating became just one-sided, where the man is responsible for everything, and there's no reciprocation until a woman feels like we're in a relationship or whatever. Now, that's not to say that a man doesn't initiate; he doesn't lead the process, but it feels like everything is on him, from communication to coming up with ideas and everything.
So when did that realization hit you?
That's a good question. Man, a while ago, maybe, I don't know. We're probably in like the last decade, maybe.
Okay.
So
it's fair to say that's when
the
stress of dating kind of started taking a different form.
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay. All right.
So it's that men are having to plan everything for the date and are they wanting women to plan dates?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
No, that's what I'm at.
Oh, okay. You're asking for clarification.
Yeah.
So I think it just gets to a point where in courtship, the man should lead the courtship, and at some point that courtship becomes reciprocal. Like, what you're doing is working, or she enjoys being with you. And I think that has kind of gone out the window. It's kind of like all about what you can do for her. And you just keep doing that until she either decides that you ain't the one or you are the one. It's no type of feedback like, hey, I'm enjoying this too. Why don't you come meet me at the bar and have a drink?
Right.
It's always, well, you ain't called me in 2 weeks.
You didn't ask.
I mean, I was in the hospital, but if you would text your boy, you would
Right. I almost died, but I mean, my bad.
We're gonna do a dating show. Like, Lord have mercy.
But I do want to ask. I want to circle back to something LA said a minute ago. So I'm curious. What are the symptoms of dating fatigue? And then you mentioned removing yourself from the apps and everything, or taking just breaks from dating. What how do you know it's time to do that based on your fatigue? And what are those signs of that fatigue?
One of the first signs is that when I feel like I have to check my messages just to make sure I get back to somebody, not because I really want to get back to them. It feels like, like when I log in for work, first thing I do is check my emails, right? And then I respond to, what the priority is. It's the same thing. It can get to that way with dating as well. It's like, okay, I'm not responding because I'm really engaged with you. I'm responding because it's the right thing to do, and it gets, the other ways that that you're in fatigue is, when it's a lot of deep breaths. You know what I mean? It's like, let me take a deep breath before I respond. Let me take a deep breath before I, take this next step, either moving away or moving closer, or what have you, because it's just so exhausting. And some of it is on, speaking as a woman, obviously, is on us that I don't think we oftentimes are very clear on how we want somebody to date us. And, I think I struggle with the trying to make it clear of how I want to be treated versus them feeling like, okay, I'm trying to tell you what to do, because that's not what I want to do either, right?
Let me explain to you what that is.
That's a good one.
That's the should complex. Every woman thinks the man should know how to date her, but in reality, you're different from every other woman he's dated.
Sure.
And they feel like they don't have to show you how to date them, or they don't want to teach an old dog new tricks. I hate that phrase.
But I think that's what she's pointing to.
Right. But I feel like there are certain things that are should be common basic, right? Like, I shouldn't have to tell you to open the door. I shouldn't have to tell you to, listen, the last time I heard from you, like you were talking about before, was 2 weeks ago, and I initiated that, right? Or to be consistent, or to not stand somebody up. Like, there's just some of the basic things. And I think that's, for me, is where a lot of the fatigue comes from, because it's like, you hear a lot of talk about your expectations are too high, right? And then you literally put them at bare minimum, and they are struggling to get to bare minimum. It's like, well, you know what? I got a vibrator that can do better than this. You know what I mean? And it is always on time. You know what I mean? So I agree. I got a dude that I've been kicking it with for a while, and he, you know what I mean? Like, so what am I trying to do this with you for? So
let's circle back to something you said, right? Like, I relate, at least on the email front, right? I having to go and look at these messages, and there's some kind. It sounds like you have some kind of anxiety around that, right?
Not anxiety, but it's just. I'll be honest. You know what's going to be in there. It's going to be another. Good morning. How was your day? Good morning. How was your day?
Or WIA. Or where?
Yes.
WIA.
Like,
Grand Rising, beautiful. Grand Rising, Queen.
I don't know who started that whole Grand Rising, but it needs to be a grand closing in there. There's nothing that gets me more than that.
I would start just texting y'all that randomly.
Don't do that. Please don't do that. It's just, you already, and the part about that really kills me is when they send those messages. Somebody, well, what am I supposed to say? You had all this time to figure out what you wanted to say to me. You contacted me. So, and I feel like if I'm not engaging enough with you for you to want to engage more than that, that's cool.
Then say that.
So let's move around each other.
Funny part about that is some of that is just a conversation starter. That's not the gist of the conversation. And hold on, because I had a female friend, get upset at a dude because he texted her and said hello. And I was like, what's the problem?
Wait, he texts what? I'm sorry?
Hello.
Oh.
And she was like, it was something behind that. I'm like, what? wanted to see if you're available? Like, did you say anything? No, because he said it with attitude. I'm like, it was a text.
This is part of the
different reasons.
People love asterisk.
How they said hello versus you couldn't have been more engaging than that, right? Because I guarantee you that same person who does that, they're not engaging in person either.
If I say hello to you in person, what are you going to say back?
I'm going to say, hey, how are you?
That's how the text starts. Right. That's how we get to the next level of the conversation. There's the intro.
Right.
Then there's the next things that we talk about. Then we set up the date.
Sure.
And then we say goodbye.
Like women, because I'm not the only woman that has said this, right? Is what we're saying is that, but how many times are you going to do it that way to know that you're not getting the response that perhaps you want from this woman to change it up? Right? What's the definition of insanity?
If he's a respectful man, he's going to speak to you with respect. I'm not going to text you by, hey, girl, where you at?
No, I think what she's saying is, no. I think what she's saying is, how many of these texts am I going to get before there's action and intention behind these texts?
Right.
Because really something more behind there. Because really what he's doing is, he's got better options, and he's keeping you around to see if those options pan out or not.
Truth be told, women are not idiots. They know you sending good morning texts to 15 other motherfuckers and waiting to see who responds first. And to be fair,
that's not always true. It's sometimes true.
It's not always true, but we know that's a possibility. So if you're sending us something that's not specific to us, like if he said, hey, and I'm just coming up with an example, hey, good morning. How's your dog feeling? I know you took them to the vet last night. Now, How many bitches is he sending that to?
Right.
All
Probably not
15,
very
just, he
many.
just cut and paste the first part.
And then the other. But hold on. I think you saying this fool me until you can't no longer. Fool me until you can't no more.
But even outside of that, what's wrong with sending a text that said, instead of just saying hello, what's wrong with saying like, hey, I was thinking about you because I knew that you were upset about you. Why can't we have the conversation?
That's a fair conversation.
You know,
I
but I
mean-
think I really do think, coming back to Facebook, I think the more that we've gotten into technology, the more people are into that, and they just don't know how to communicate with each other. And it's not a strong point for anybody. Not verbal, not written, not anything. You know, I just turned 50 in May, and I feel like, don't send to my phone WYA. No, I didn't make it to
Not your old ass.
No, right? I'm too old for that. Like,
Jamil, jump in here. Come on.
First of all, WYA depends on who's sending it. First of all,
Okay.
The YNs?
no, I'm talking about the man on the other end. If you're interested, you're gonna answer the where you at text because you want him to be there. Yeah, okay. All right. Never mind.
A lot of time we'd have to be in a relationship, and time would have to pass for you could WYA me.
Right.
What's time? 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 dates?
I'm sorry, I'm a relationship person, so you need to add some years onto that.
So
Thanks, though.
he got to be in a relationship with you. Where you at?
I mean, have I been married twice and 15 years apart?
I agree that
but there's a few years.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that should be.
I'm saying ain't no man had to wait no 2 years to see where you at. That's what I'm saying.
But there has to be some time. You definitely, after 2 months, wasn't like WIA. I'd be like,
I think that depends on the relationship of the man.
That depends on what y'all doing.
Right, and what you want from him.
Right.
I mean, everything depends.
It's right. I was like,
see, everything
right. Because that's where you at is what's up, big head.
Like, check it out, though. You know what I mean? So vague. You know what I mean?
oh my gosh.
Hold on, we got so Sean did just ask a question about social media, and let's throw dating apps in there. Are they polluting what real dating should look like? Because people have more options, or at least the illusion of options.
What do you mean by polluting?
You know what? That's interesting because dating apps for me suck. Like they don't work well with me. I delete them sometimes. I put them back on for fun, just scroll and be like, hey. But it doesn't work because I have no vibe of the person. Mm-hmm. Like words can only do so much. So I'm an observational person. So I like to see the person in person, not necessarily to see how they look and make sure all their pictures are right, but to see how they treat people. It helps.
That's number one.
That too.
But to see their vibe, to see their mood, how they talk. Mm-hmm. For some reason, voice is a big thing for me. Mm-hmm. So like if I can't hear you, it's like I don't know. But I think overall, part of the script is it too many options or not? I don't know if it's too many options because most of the people you're connected to on social media, you probably know in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Mm. So unless you just jump in every DM possible, I don't think it's that much of too many options being the case.
Yeah. My take on it is that I don't know why dating apps have such a negative connotation to it. I feel like it's a great thing, right? Like, it's 2025. We're using technology for all things. Why would we not use it for dating, right? And, it's no different than I can work from home, right? I don't have to be in the office, so I can do dating the same way. And me personally, I feel like if that's how you're going to be on a dating app, I don't know how it's going to be any different. Like I can meet you out and about, right? And we have a quick conversation, but then it's not like we're going to go out probably the next day. We're going to have a phone conversation. Now, what I do struggle with the dating app is that I do feel like how you just, and I don't think this is the way you intended it to come across, but I do find that a lot of men that are on the apps, that's exactly what they're doing. Scrolling, just passing time. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of them. I could have, missed my husband on there because he didn't even bother to fill out the questions on there. They throw a picture up there. And I feel like if you couldn't take the time to answer the 5 questions on Hinge, then I don't know that this is worth my, investment. Right. Yeah. So, I think dating apps are great. I wish that I had more friends on social media that had available single friends or what have you. Like all of my friends, they've got people, but they know me and they know like, nah, that's not going to be he's on some bullshit, so I'm not going to do that. So I'm lucky there. At least they don't set me up with, garbage. But but I do think, I think it's a good thing to give yourself options. Like, so I'm out, it's rough for me because I'm out in Naperville, right? And so if what I'm looking for probably is not out in Naperville, and if it is in Naperville, it's out there with their wife and their kids, right? So being able to be on an app, I can meet folks being out in the city, right? And so it's helpful, but it's just a rat race, to be honest with you. So I think that you put into it what you want to put into it and what you want to get out of it. And I just think that it's almost luck of trying to find the right person.
All right, this is way too depressing. We need a much lighter question.
Lord, come on. It's just.
Do we have it?
Right, it's just a. It's just a crapshoot.
Have this topic because I feel like it's the same. Like there's nothing new to add to this, right? You know what I mean? Like it's like.
Well, let's figure. Let's see. Let's see.
One thing I do appreciate about this topic because I don't really think people acknowledge how tired they are of dating, and I will also compound it with I don't think Facebook helps because everybody's a guru, everybody's a podcaster, everybody's willing to tell everybody what they need to do differently in order to get a man or get a chick or whatever, right? And I also think those interactions kind of compound your fatigue or your fatigue, right? Because you're constantly being inundated with people telling you what you should be or what you should do. When we all know in real life, they're not saying none of this shit.
Right.
Like none of it.
I think the other thing that we don't really touch on as much is how much harder it is when you're older. And and most times people think it's because you're set in your ways. And for me, it's harder because I've worked really hard on myself to become healthy emotionally, physically, and financially. And I have a therapist that I love to pieces, and I'm healthy. And so now I'm not going to put up with the stuff that I did before. So now it's not.
No, we hate when you both get healthy.
Right. Exactly. Right. So now,
I want you Mary J. Blige.
My BS radar is going off left and right. I'm asking all the right questions. And so it makes it even harder because it's like, nah, I'm hip to the game, and it's just harder when you're older too, because why would I want to be with somebody who's not healthy? And I've worked so hard to be healthy. So
that's fair.
That's totally fair. All right, like I said, we need to lighten this shit up.
Okay.
No, I like that.
Right.
Come on.
Because dating is depressing. I
hate that so hard because I love to date. What's the funniest, most absurd, I'm so done with dating moment you've ever had?
I'm gonna let you go because I'm gonna win this one. I'm gonna win this one.
You know what? Let me think about it. If you got an example in mind,
you might not want to go after this girl. I don't, but the way she's reacting, I'm making an assumption.
I don't know where she's gonna go. But
I've had very few terrible dates, but I will share this. Went to a HBCU, dated women from across the country throughout my lifetime. I never got stood up until I moved to Chicago. And I couldn't believe it. Like I'm at the place calling and nobody's answering. I'm like, this can't be happening.
Right.
Like, not like this.
Not like this. Not like this.
So of course I'm the gentleman. The next day I'm like, man, maybe something happened. Right. So I call. She answered the phone.
Like nothing happened.
A pregnant pause, right? I'm like, hello.
So she just dude. All right.
She's like, what up?
So I'm like, hey, what happened last night? She all right? Oh, she was like, oh, it was a family issue. I'm like, pregnant pause again because something coming after that. Right? No, or either, hey, I'm sorry.
Right. Yeah.
Let's try again. I was like, all right.
Well,
yeah,
we are a special breed of Chicago women.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey.
Yes.
You say
I'm not saying we all like do that because
Right.
Have you seen somebody else?
Have I ever let them go to the restaurant and set them up? No. Have I
not ghosted anybody either? Like
I've ghosted people for sure.
I'm not ghosted.
I'm the queen of ghosting. I'm fantastic at it.
Oh, okay. All right.
So it's a really bad trait.
That sucked. Well, I gotta hear this story.
So this was a while back. Not far enough back, but a while back. And I met him online. Seemed to be a nice brother. He was a nice brother, tall, chalky. He worked at a bank, and our first date, I actually met him at his bank, and we were going to go next door to have lunch. And one of the reasons why I did that is when we were talking, it was like that whole joke, like, because I was trying to ask him, well, what do you do at the bank? He was very secretive about it. And so I was like, oh, is it like Tommy? He's like, no, I have a job, right? And so I met him there. That was the whole thing, right? So we go on that date. Date is great, right? I mean, we are having great conversation. Everything is going good. We go on like 3 or 4 more dates after that. And it's, great. And then he says, hey, I want to have you over to my place and I want to make you dinner. And so I was like, I wasn't quite too sure if I felt comfortable enough to go over to his house. And I was like, you know what? He's a really nice guy. It'll be fine, right? I'll make sure that somebody has my information, blah, blah, whatever. So I said, yeah, that's fine. And he says, well, I'm going to come pick you up. And then I'm like, I kind of like to have my own car. That way, if I need to jump in it, I could get an Uber, what have you. And I said, you know what, Latanya, stop being paranoid. Like, it's going to be fine. You've been out on a date with this guy like 4 times. It's great, right? Okay. And all the other times we met, you know what I mean? Like, we just met at the spot or whatever. And he'd walk me to my car. Such a gentleman, right? So.
What's his name? Jeffrey Dahmer?
He only likes men.
My bad.
He comes to my house and we come outside, right? And we're walking down the sidewalk, and in front, like right at the where the T is the sidewalk in the street, there is this white serial killer van right there, right? Like, what do you call it? Conversion van or what?
So Jeffrey Dahmer was there.
And so he's
sorry, fam, I tried.
He's slowing down a little bit, and so I'm thinking, is this his car, right? And so then immediately I started having conversation with myself, like, Latanya, you cannot be this shallow. Like, you're gonna be upset because he's got like a conversion van or whatever. Like, just don't do this, right? Okay, cool, bet, right?
You talking yourself. Right. You almost like Buffalo Bill was about to push you in his van and sounds of the lamb your ass. Don't worry. He does construction. It's probably dust all over there. He's trying to be clean for you.
No, it's worse than that.
Ignore the chainsaw in the corner.
It is worse than
I
that.
got dead animals in the back.
It is worse than that. No, it is worse than that. So he stops at the van, right? And so then I know, okay, this is where we're getting into, right? And I was like, oh, is this your car? And I'm trying to be like real cool. Oh, is this your car? And he says, yes. I said, okay, great. So I kind of step towards the passenger side for him to open up the door. Why does he open up the side, slides it? There's a futon in there. There's a beaded curtain between the front and the back. And I will say this, it smelled really good because I could smell food in there, right? And so
this man lives in his van?
Within seconds, I'm like, wait. I said, do you live in your van? And he says, yes, I live in my van. I'm like, what are you talking about? What do you mean you live in your van?
She said that man had beaded curtains.
It was like one curtain between oh my God. I'm gonna have flashbacks talking about this, right? And so he was like, this is what this man tells me. And there were no signs of this on the date. No signs.
So wait, when he said I want you to come on my house,
yes,
he said
make me dinner in his van. He had like a little hot pad and everything else there, right?
Was the food good?
He absolutely was like, I'm good. Sorry,
And so I'm standing there, I'm just like dumbfounded because I'm like, what do I say to this man, right? And so I'm like, how? And then I just said to him, I said, how could you not tell me that you live in your van? He was like, and then this is the best part about it. He's like, he's like, well, it shouldn't be a problem. Why is it a problem? He's like, why do you care where I live? And I was like, okay, this is like if you were, because prior to that, I had gone on a date like 3 months before that. The man was blind, didn't tell me he was blind. So I found out he was blind when I got to the date. Yeah, it's bad, right? And he knew about this. I said, this is no better than the blind guy that didn't tell me he was blind until I got to the, you know what I mean? And so then I asked myself, well, why do you live in your van? And then he went this whole tirade about the man and he didn't want to pay taxes.
Did you work? What are you talking about?
That's how we got all that money. That's how he keep all that money.
he paying taxes out of his
I remember distinctly telling him, I said, respectfully, I'm going to have to decline and I'm going back to my home. And I said it just like that, my home.
Well, Yolanda said at least he tried.
And when I tell you, that man left me the nastiest message and saying that I was a gold digger and why should it care? And then you talk about, at least I have freedom to live wherever I want to live and whatever. Boy, bye. Boy, bye.
Man, that man got a
She won.
$1.5 million house. I just wanted to see what you was about.
This is a test.
Well, I failed that test, and I'm happy.
Why do men do that? I actually know. I have a friend.
Because
His friend made a lot of money, but he had like this old beat up Dodge that he would pick girls up in. And I was like, what the fuck?
why do y'all not understand? Some men want to be appreciated for who they are, not what they have.
But you're a liar.
Right.
No,
But there's
he's
better
not
ways to
lying.
do that.
He owned the man. It was his.
I think
Next question or second.
I think a little warning that I want you to come over my house and I'm gonna pick you up in my house is probably due.
I could have just told the truth. You know what? I'm gonna pick you up in my van and we're gonna have a lovely day in the van. And then
No, he should have told me he lived.
No, that motherfucker live.
I'm a man down by the river living in my van. He should have said. No, absolutely.
That's awful.
It is awful.
That's awful.
He stood up. Get out of here.
Thank you for letting me go first.
oh my god. Oh,
Any other questions?
Absolutely.
How do we follow up?
I don't know.
That's
Yeah.
But
that's
please
wild.
believe he at the crib
Well,
somewhere.
Mission accomplished. I lighten the mood.
Let me ask this: are we addicted to the possibility of love more than the reality of connection? Bring it down a little bit. Yeah. So are we more concerned about the illusion of what we think love is supposed to make us feel, as opposed to the quality of the connections we're actually making, and that's messing stuff up?
We got a hell yeah from the back, but I don't know. I'm not.
He does need to do a TikTok vlog. Recent teaser part.
Wait, repeat the question again.
Right. Are we more addicted to the possibility or even the illusion of love more than the reality of the connections we're making?
No, for me, because it's always about the connection, which is probably why dating apps don't work for me, because there's no connection in the initial meeting or what have you. So I don't think we're blinded by I don't think men are blinded by it.
Let me ask you this. You're of a certain age.
Yes.
You've never been married.
Right.
You've dated a lot.
Enough.
Okay. You dated enough. Do you think part of the problem of the connection you haven't quite found yet, that I'm assuming you're looking for, is that you got this, you got love on a pedestal. Love is on the pedestal, and can't nobody reach that pedestal, because you know what I'm thinking, because love is on that pedestal.
Right. No, I don't think it's on a pedestal. And as far as, the amount of time that I've been out here, it's not because I didn't want it to be out here this long. That was never the goal. But I think I've had some connections that I thought could make it, and for whatever reason, it didn't work out. And it's not like, I'm saying somebody ain't perfect. They were different reasons for different situations. So it's not like, she had bad feet, I couldn't deal with that. No, it was like we didn't see money the same. You know what I'm saying? So when you talk about does love overshadow it? No, because I think about the partnership piece, the working piece, the everyday piece. And I feel like some of those pieces didn't fit in my situations.
That's fair.
I think for me, this is not probably the answer that you were looking for, but
that's all right.
I feel for me, if I didn't have some of an illusion of love, I would have gave up a long time ago. And I think that's kind of what keeps me going, like stopping and then coming back, because I just believe in love. I just totally believe in love. You know what I mean? And I love to see love. I love to see people in love. But connection is super important to me, and you can't get there without the connection. But you can't get to the connection without the consistency and without putting, you both putting in the effort as well, and being transparent with each other. And, part of the fatigue is that you are literally always opening yourself up to somebody. And, that's one of the challenges that I have with dating is that, fine, I'll get myself together and, get dressed and go out. That's not a problem. The real fatigue is that continuing to open yourself up to somebody who either doesn't appreciate it, doesn't know how to accept it. That's where the real fatigue and struggle comes from, and not knowing, they say there's somebody for everybody. Well, where the hell is my person at? You know what I mean? So, I mean, it also doesn't help that I'm on my couch a lot too. So where's that?
You trying to say you don't go out enough?
I don't go out enough. I don't. At least not outside of, you know, my general area over there too. So I've been working on that as well. But yeah.
I want to piggyback off something that you just said. So I think there are, when you're dating and you've dated for a while and you're dating a lot, potentially, or not dating as much as you like, or dating too much, more than you like, that there's a an emotional and mental fatigue that comes with that outside of just the dating fatigue. Just, it could be depressing. It could be this, it could be that. How do you deal with some of those mental gymnastics when it comes to staying sane in this dating world?
For me, honestly, it's therapy. Seriously, because when you're dating, and I mean, I mentioned before, you know, I'm 50, I've never been married before, right? And at some point you start to ask yourself, and I think especially as women, what is wrong with me? Like, everybody in my life sees me, right? And if one more person asks me, I can't figure out why you're still single. I can't figure it out either, right? You know, they'll say that you're intelligent, you're, you know, decent looking, you're a good person, everybody loves to be around you. But it's there's something that's missing, right? Yeah. And so I've been doing the work on myself. And, you know, one of the biggest things that I try to, how I combat it is, I just have to worry about myself, right? Like, I'm not out here trying to change anybody. So I just have to focus on, okay, how am I going into these interactions with these different men? You know, how am I choosing men? You know, am I turning away the wrong men and the right men and all that kind of thing? And I'm just, you know, honestly, it's therapy, you know? And I think that's also part of the problem. I don't meet a lot of men that have, I personally believe that everybody at some point in your life should have a therapist. And I don't find a lot of men that find value in that. And so they come to the experience not whole. And that's hard. So
they're disqualified automatically? I say they're disqualified automatically?
Not disqualified. You mean disqualified because they haven't gone to therapy or what have you? It's not disqualified, but it's hard if they don't recognize it. Then what am I meant to do with that, right? So
help them recognize it.
I could. However, I raised my child who's 26, so I don't want to.
Y'all got to stop. We are all growing and learning creatures. We learn new things every day.
But at 50, you need to know. You need to be at a point, right? Well, at least for myself, right? You need to be at a point where you can regularly be introspective, right? And that somebody shouldn't have to tell you, hey, take a look at these things. Not everything, right? But like, you know, I don't mind having the conversation or have you, but a lot of times, you know, they're just not open to. They feel like you're trying to change. It's like, oh, I don't want to change you. Actually, I just want you to know what it is that I need. Yeah. And let's be honest about it. And if you can't provide what I need, or if I can't provide what you need, that's cool. Let's move around. You know what I mean? But what I don't want to do is I don't want to try to make you be what I need. And I don't want you to do the same thing, you know, with me as well. So if I need somebody who's emotionally healthy, right, and you're not, and I'm telling you now, I'm spent. I'm not interested in being your person to help you get emotionally healthy, then we should move around. Yeah.
Jimmy, how do you stay sane in these dating streets?
That's a good question. Take a trip and go hang out. Do whatever makes you feel good. You know, work out, take a bike ride. You know, for me is, you know, she talked about introspection. I don't think that what helps me get through it. I think what helps you get through it is being comfortable with who you are. Like, if you have a lot of questions about yourself, you're probably not going to do well. But if you know that you're a decent person, you're a good person, like what you want isn't crazy or deranged or out of reach, I don't think it's that hard. But gotta be comfortable with yourself and do the things you enjoy.
Respect. Sean, we're almost at time. One last one?
Yeah, sure. All right. Jamil, how can you keep hope alive without romanticizing? That word killed me. Romanticizing every new person you meet.
Well, I don't romanticize every person.
Not even a little?
Nah.
You don't like meet somebody and get like the ooey gooeys, butterflies, like, oh, this could be something, and then
that probably
crash in a bird of
Probably happens after the first couple of days, not
Yeah.
like well, you know, some people, they meet somebody, oh, dog, I met my wife, dog. You be like, I done heard this 9 times. So, I mean, I guess at that point, you can romanticize it later. But I don't know. It's, I think you got to look at the person. What's the question?
Now you done danced around that motherfucker. How can you keep hope alive without
hope alive? That was the part.
Without romanticizing everyone you meet.
I mean, hope alive. Like you said, there's somebody out there for everybody. You just gotta, you know, you keep shooting. If you're 0 for 15, go 0 for 16.
What's that saying? You miss every shot you don't take.
all you need is one. All you need is one to go in.
Yeah.
So.
All right. How you keeping hope alive? I know it's therapy, but you gotta have another outlet too to keep hope alive.
I don't know, just enjoying life. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, so for me, and this could be part of the problem too, like I'm not looking for somebody, right? Like I am just looking to experience life, and I'm hoping that by doing that, I find somebody as I'm experiencing it that I can then experience it with them. And, you know, I'm just doing things that I enjoy. You know, I travel, I spend time with my puppy, you know, spend time with friends, getting out. I go out by myself all the time, concerts, restaurants, whatever, you know what I mean? So I think just staying, like kind of you said, you know, knowing who you are and knowing that, listen, if they're out there and we're meant to cross paths, it's going to happen. If not, I'm going to make sure that I live the best life. That's it.
Love it.
Oh.
Sean?
What?
Any final thoughts around these two topics?
Well, the first topic, I got a lot of work to do when I get married.
Maybe before you get married. That's how you get married.
Well,
touche.
We'll see.
Set both of us up on dates. That would have been a better show. And then we could have came back and talked.
We've tried that, and people are chicken.
Really?
People are chicken.
I don't want no.
You don't want to be responsible for that.
Hey, listen, I don't want no blame. I don't want no credit. All right.
You 0 for 1.
I didn't look that up. I didn't know that was happening.
It was on your turf.
Wow.
I was watching Entourage today, and Vinny said, "Hey, I don't want to be anybody's first, and I don't want to be anybody's last." I was like, "That's what I'm talking about."
Dating fatigue. I mean, I get it. I get why people are tired, right? I myself, I don't date a whole lot. I'm usually in somebody's relationship, but those get very exhausting, right? I don't know. I think for me, what's important is, especially in this last one, just realizing everybody's humanity and realizing my own humanity. Allow me to just accept whatever happens and not take it personal and not get fatigued, because you're just dealing with a bunch of fucking human beings with a bunch of flaws and a bunch of issues, right? And I think it's just, I have to always look at it through a lens like that, because if I didn't, I would murder every man in sight. Well, I wouldn't fuck with y'all, quite frankly. I mean, that's true. I just wouldn't fuck with y'all if I didn't look at y'all as human beings.
Thank you.
I got nothing.
Great. We are human beings, but thank you for seeing us.
I mean, just saying.
Hey, I just want to say as we wrap it up, listen, everybody that's out there that's dating and trying to navigate these waters, as our two fantastic guests have said, stay the course. Love you first, right? And if you're loving yourself and enjoying your life, hopefully somebody that wants to share that energy with you will come along. Don't look too hard, because when you're looking, you probably never find.
Keep shooting, baby.
Keep shooting them shots, though. Keep shooting them shots. You miss every one you don't take. And on the first end, the thing that caught me the most about that conversation was always communication. But Spence talked about being and Jamil says, a lifelong learner and a lifelong grower. And I think Spence said some things around expanding your knowledge base and your skill set forever.
He said have them 16 moves. Break out 4 every quarter.
4 every quarter. 4 every quarter. He said you won't see another one until the next year. But I think what he's saying is you got to be more intentional about the pleasure of not only yourself but your partner. And this might bridge some gaps that some folks in marriages might be feeling. Hey, y'all, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for joining us. Great episode. Appreciate all of our guests. We will see you next week where we are doing one of our favorite things.
Another draft,
Jamal. We do love a draft, but this one's going to be very unique in that it's not about music or entertainment. It's about Chicago.
Yep.
We're going to draft our favorite Chicago things from our favorite places to eat, our favorite places, our favorite rooftops, my favorite artists that are from Chicago, a litany of things. So we're going to run through it, do our draft, have just a Chicago love fest. Although one of the questions is, what's one of the most overhyped things about Chicago? So for our non-Chicago folk, we got to leave. We got a couple of things.
Right in the comments, boy.
we got to heap a few things. Keep them at bay too. But it's gonna be a fun episode before we go on Thanksgiving break. So thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week in the zone.
In the zone podcast. In the zone podcast. In the zone podcast. In the zone podcast. In the zone.